I know you have watched a bunch of videos on this topic and you are still confused. Like Git, GitHub, it's all starting to like blur. I mean, don't worry, this will be your last video you will need. And I'll try to explain Git and GitHub in the best way possible. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. So first up, we need to understand this. Git and GitHub are both different tools. So you don't need to worry. I'll try to explain both, and also I'll try to explain how we can leverage both as well. Or if you don't want to use Git, how we can leverage GitHub, or if you don't want to use GitHub, then how we can use Git. So let's start with what is Git. So let's say you are writing a book, and every day you write new pages, change old ones, maybe delete some stuff. Now, what if you want to go back to the version you wrote last week? Or you want to compare two drafts, or see what your co-writer changed? That's exactly what Git does, but it does for the code. It keeps track of changes in your project. You can go back, compare versions, experiment freely without breaking the main thing. Like Git really helps you control version of your project. If you have break something in your code and you want to go back at some point where code was working, you can do that with Git without like breaking the whole thing or just messing your head around. So we should also discuss the history of Git, like how it was created, who created it. So here's something cool. Git was actually created by Linus Torvalds, the guy, the famous guy who made Linux. Like Linux is one of the most loved operating system by developers. So back in the day, people used tools like Bitkeeper, CVS, or Subversions, which is also known as SVN. Uh, they were used to manage versions of their code. Developers used them and they paid subscriptions for them as well. So both of so most of these tools were either paid, they were centralized, or just not developer friendly. So Linus made Git. It was an open source tool that's super fast, super powerful, and it was totally free. And that's why today Git is literally used in almost every serious development team or in the world. Even if you are just starting out, learning Git is like learning to breathe as a developer. It gives you so much confidence. Like if you break something, Git can easily roll it back. If you are working in a team, Git shows who did what and when and why. So if you want to test new ideas, you can create branches and experiment without affecting your main code. I mean, if we say it simply, it's your project safety net. So we have understood Git now somehow. I hope you do. So then what is actually GitHub? This is the website of GitHub. So GitHub is a platform where you can store your Git projects online. Think of Git as your notebook, and GitHub is like Google Drive. It lets you share the notebook, access it from anywhere, and collaborate with others. It also adds features on top like issue tracking, pull request discussion, and project management tools, and much more. So Git is the tool, and GitHub is the hosting platform for Git projects. So then a question should arise like why GitHub is so popular? Now, there are other Git platforms too, like GitLab, Bitbucket, and SourceForge, and others as well. But GitHub explos but GitHub exploded in popularity because it was the first to make open source collaboration really smooth. It has an amazing UI and integration. You can see the UI of GitHub. It's just very great and very modern and minimalistic. And the community was very massive and it's getting bigger day by day. Millions of projects are on GitHub and companies trust it and developers love it and developers love GitHub. In fact, if you are a developer, your GitHub profile is kind of like your portfolio. How can you use Git and GitHub? Let's say you are working on a project that can be your portfolio or maybe your university assignment or maybe your client site. You can initialize a Git repo locally to track changes, like push that repo to Git to store it online, You can share your code with teammates or clients. You can contribute to other people's open source projects. You can show off your project when applying to an internship or maybe freelance jobs. Even if you are just learning, start using Git from day one. It's a habit, that absolutely pays forever. And trust me, it's not as hard as it seems. You can take bunch of courses on Git and GitHub, and there are a bunch of free courses available on YouTube. You should start learning from day one if you are just starting as a developer.